Welcome to Happily Ever After with the
Raj
Raj
family.
family. So, honey, I would like to start today asking you a question, and this is on a very important topic communication, conversations. What does speaking the truth in love actually look like when emotions are high? So, this is a very practical one that,
We need to work on as
yes.
well. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there need to work on it as well. And it's a growth process. No one can come and say, oh, we have perfected how to communicate, we know how to speak, because there is going to be issues and it is something that we all need to grow on. So, speaking the truth in love when the emotions are high. I think the best way is to not speak about it right then and there when the emotions are too high. It is like when the fire is there already, you're still adding more fuel to it. And even it might be true, but I don't think it is wise. There is a time and place for everything. Ecclesiastes, right? There is a time for sunlight, there is a time for rain, there is a time for different things. And in this case, I would say speaking the truth, it is a must, but is it the right time? I think that is something we need to evaluate, especially when the emotions are high. If I'm really emotionally charged and you're trying to tell me the truth, hey, you did this wrong, and it might be true, it might be a fact that you're pointing out to me, I'm not ready to listen to what you have to tell me.
And in love, because it's not just the truth, but speaking the truth in love. That's like another level of speaking the truth.
Yeah,
Like you're not there to win an argument, you're not there to prove yourself,
exactly.
you're not there to pinpoint the other person what they've done wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what are some practical ways in the times we've managed it better that have helped you?
Number one is not coming as an accusation. I think that is the biggest help there. Number two, even if someone is emotionally charged, I think it is better to get at least a small break. Maybe drink a glass of water, go and cool off a little bit, and then come back and then share it. But speak the truth in love. For me, I would say when you have explained certain things, I might be completely wrong, but I'm emotionally charged, and you are emotionally charged, and you are trying to make your point, and I'm trying to make my point, and we are not able to come to a middle ground. And what switches is that when you when your voice is calm and not emotionally charged along with me, but at the same time, you are explaining stuff. Like God says, come, let us reason together. That's one of my favorite verses because reasoning is what is lacking in this world right now, especially in with the social media stuff and all of that. Everyone has everything, a million different solutions for one issue, and that is not the greatest. Different people have different ways of dealing with things, and that doesn't mean everyone has to deal with that one same way. So I would say, if when you have expressed yourself more calm, more already preparing the soil, so to speak, like, hey, don't be upset, I would like to share something with you, I would like to open up to you, and then you share the truth in love. It helps me to be more prone to listening to you. It helps me to open up my ears and listen to you instead of try to defend myself.
Okay. So, bringing instead of from like an emotional just me to let's talk about this is how
Yeah.
I feel or this is what I sense. So I guess sharing why that's important to us instead of attacking or emotionally raising the voice or acting riled up, but more like, okay, let's process this.
Yeah, yeah. When we can reason together, that's the best way because the other person is willing to reason as well. But yeah.
No, that's, I mean, speaking the truth in love, it looks like calm, speaking the truth calmly, speaking the truth with care for the other person as well,
Yeah.
without like high blood pressure type of situation,
Yeah.
which is very normal when you feel you're stressed about it, you're frustrated about it, the high blood pressure will go up, your stress level will go up, and there's actually some practical things that we can say, like, I'm feeling like this right now, or I'm feeling flooded, like, I need a breather. I think recognizing that emotions are high is the first thing. And one person from a marriage or a relationship should choose to calm down. If none of them, one person calming down can help the other person. If both are like, we're not calming down, we're going to fight on high emotion, there's no way you can tell the truth in love.
Yeah. And I would say speaking the truth in love and wisdom. That's where the wisdom comes in. Love is there, but by itself, without wisdom, will not work properly, you know? Because you might be telling with the truth in love, but how can you even do it when you're really emotionally charged? And how can I receive it when I'm
Right.
emotionally charged?
It is like they don't go together.
Yeah.
Emotionally charged is their self-centeredness, so love cannot really be there. Like, it's something that hurt you or that frustrated you.
Exactly.
So it's not thinking on the other, but it's thinking in you.
Exactly.
So it's true. Emotionally charged, you cannot really speak the truth in love. So the main thing is to lower the emotions. Either go pray, go walk, say, I need some time to process this, and really try to reason through it. And this has helped us a few times. When you or I choose during a heated up moment to say, hey, I really want to talk through this, or I really need us to be adults and process it together. This is not about fighting, this is about understanding. So, yeah, it
It's
helps.
so interesting when we are emotionally charged. I think our reasoning capacity goes so low.
I think the frontal lobe shuts down.
down.
And actually, there was a quote in a devotional we were reading that it kind of makes it very clear. It says that the demon of strife tries to bring those things into marriages. So there's a demon of lust, a demon of strife. There are angels that want to help us from God's side, but there are angels from Satan's side that are trying to make us fight. And in a way, I personally can sense that.
Yeah.
Like, because, yes, as kids, we got frustrated, we fighted with our siblings. We couldn't really understand the spiritual battle as much, even though it was real. But now as adults, especially if you're not a person that is constantly with anger outbursts, but God has helped you to have more peace in your life. When you are going in marriage, you sense a different spirit. You sense it. So it is a spiritual battle. That Satan, the other person can trigger, but Satan will put more like
Coals.
coals or gasoline to the fire so that it explodes and you feel, this is the end of the world, and you feel that desire to fight and strive. So that is from the devil himself. That's like not from God.
So I have another question. Why do we fear hard conversations more than living in silent tension? Why do we fear hard conversations and we prefer actually living in silent tension than having the
Okay.
hard conversation?
Okay. That's a good question, actually. First, I was like, what? Both are bad. And it's true.
No, hard
Not
conversations
speaking-
are not bad.
well-
Hard conversations can be about anything.
It's
Future
true.
or finance or dislikes or...
It's true. It's true. I guess they can be linked, like both are. If they're not addressed correctly, both can be damaging, basically. If hard conversations are addressed with that anger, that strife, that fighting or silent treatment, both weaken the relationship. So I guess, at least I can speak for myself. I have feared, and I have been growing in that, hard conversations because I felt they destroy connection. Hard conversations, they can be misinterpreted, and then you're judged. And so hard conversations sometimes, if you have not learned how to have them, then silence is the default mode. Silent is the way you try to process it by yourself. You try to just keep it in. You feel ashamed to bring out and not know how to handle it. So then silence is a way of like,
It's a temporary escape.
yes, I don't want the fight, so then I prefer silence. But it's not resolving the issue. So I think, knowing myself from before, and how hard it has been for me many times to speak, and I've gotten better, but at times I can still struggle with that, which is, that's why I can say why, sometimes we fear hard conversations.
Yeah, I think for me, the understanding is that the silent tension, it's definitely more of a temporary relief, temporary escape from having a conversation. Let's say someone is in debt and they don't want to open about it because it's hard conversation. But then it is better to be in that silent tension. It feels like it is better to be in that silent tension, but that thing happened to us
Sooner
as
or
well.
later, it's going to come up. We're going to have to deal with it. But in the moment, you're drawing further apart, emotionally, mentally, because you're having that.
Yeah, and it feels like, okay, it's an escape. But it might be an escape, but it's not a permanent escape. It's a temporary escape. It's not a solution. I think the solution lies in having the hard conversation itself. And so many times people have that thing. It is they don't want to bring up issues within the family, within the relationship, because the other person might not be ready to listen to it, and then we feel like might as well just keep it as a silence.
And that's the thing, we prefer to live our life in the comfort zone, even if it's bad, like in what we think, okay, at least like this, we're surviving. If I shake it and try to deal with or bring the hard conversations, we might collapse. But because you haven't collapsed yet, does that mean you're put together? It's just like a very cracked bowl that is held by, tape, and it's not really. So if you let it be real, it's broken. How can we fix it? It can help us mature, realize the need, and make changes. If not, it's like it's easy to just keep going with the tape because, it's holding together. So I think it depends what's our goal. If our goal is for growth and maturity, we will, even if it's hard everything that has to do with growth, it is hard. It's easier to just stay on the comfort zone.
Yeah.
But when we develop it, there's so many other opportunities. There's opportunity for deeper connection, more intimacy, for improvement, for new decisions, for awareness and clarity and honesty. And so if there is some level of willingness in a relationship, I mean, and this we're kind of talking now from a perspective of marriage, but if you're in a relationship, you're not married yet, you gotta bring those hard conversations out so you can actually know how you can move together stronger and not move forward in marriage with a tape type relationship and it will collapse at some point.
And you don't even know about each other truly.
Yeah. So
fully.
Definitely it was super hard for me. He knows. I was like, it's just, and I would be stuck not knowing how to face the hard conversations. And he would realize there was something we had to talk, but I would just be like, what if he doesn't get it? What if I'm being too much? How should I say it? So I was blocked myself and he was like, just say it. But it was like, I can't, I don't know how to, and I am frozen inside. And so it has been a journey of learning that it's okay to speak, to open up, to share, that it's okay to bring up the situation, and then learning that we also have to truly accept what the other person is sharing without being like, why are you sharing this, or why are you feeling like that, because that's only going to create more shutting down these opportunities for growth. We have something exciting that we want to share. Maybe you're like, what is the strength in my relationship? How is the quality of my relationship like? How can I gauge or get an idea where I'm at, or what things maybe I need to grow?
Or you might not even know how your relationship is growing, and you are trying to figure it out and you don't know how to figure it out. We have a beautiful free resource for you. It is a 3-minute relationship strength quiz. You can find it on our website. It's free for everyone. You can just go put our website. We'll put it here right here. It's called naturalhealingproject.com, and then you just scroll down. You will be able to find, it says relationship strength quiz. It is for anyone that is committed, single, or in relationship. Feel free to go and check it out and do the quiz.
You will get a percentage of the strength of your relationship with the answers you give, and some tips, advice, and suggestions to move forward in strengthening even more. So kind of in those lines, it's very much connected. It's what is the danger of avoiding conflict in a relationship for the sake of peace? We kind of cover it.
We kind of covered it, yeah. The danger of avoiding conflict, what happens is we definitely won't know what is in each other's heart, and also there is a lot of frustration that will build up, because I'm trying to hide stuff from you and you're trying to hide stuff from me, and we are not having that conflict. It looks nice, it's a nice facade,
but the pressure is building.
The pressure is there, and I don't appreciate you as much because I am not at peace. You won't be able to appreciate me because you don't have the peace either. So it does look like we are having peace and peaceful time together, but it is not. It's not going to help us in the long run. It is going to catch up one day, and it is going to make us pay for it. Excuse me. So I think the danger is that peace will be temporary. So if we have a conflict, if we have some hard conversation to talk about, it is important to talk about it right away. So that way we might be able to even come to a solution. And especially in relationships, if you're not able to come to a solution and we have conflicts constantly, move on. And
you can choose that's not how you want to live for the rest of your life.
Exactly. But it is better to have conflict and understand where each other stands and how the life is going to be steered, and move forward in life. But if you fear, I would even boldly say, if you fear to have conflict and you prefer to suppress everything so that you can have peace and not have conflict, you're not ready for a relationship, let alone marriage. Period. You cannot have a relationship, especially a healthy relationship. Now people will be like, oh, I have managed to hide this and that from my wife or husband, whatever. Yeah, it can happen, but are you actually having a quality relationship? Are you having a good marriage? Are you having a life that is fulfilling? All that is going to be affected because you're just trying to suppress conflict so that you can have peace.
Yeah, that's going to build up a lot of stress. And if you never maybe saw it, how can you face conflict in a healthy manner? We highly encourage you to look for resources. One of the one that helps us was Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, the book by Les and Leslie Parrott. The other thing was go to counseling, to mentors that have experience, that have biblical principles and can guide you with tools how to deal with differences. That was huge for us because we might not be fully like learn and get better tools to
Yeah.
deal with difficult situations. But there are some things that you'll never really face fully until you are in a relationship as well. So, like, if you have friends, you can say goodbye. If you have family, you don't agree. But then in a relationship, you cannot say goodbye. You kind of have to, sooner or later, cross the bridges and move forward stronger.
Yeah. Together.
So, yes. So, if you are like, I don't really have the tools, look, there's books, there's trainings, there's courses, there's mentors. We have so much nowadays online and all over. Some may not be biblical principles, but still can give some good tools. So prayerfully open yourself up and get the tools needed to learn how to move forward. And yeah.
Yep. And my question for you is, how do you bring up, this is one of your favorite topics, money or future goals without sounding controlling or insecure?
Well, from the beginning, I think we talked in our relationship about finances, how we felt about debts and other things like that. Because for me, that was kind of like a non-negotiable, that we saw debts as something we would run away from like a monster and destroy it like a monster. That's how I would call it. And we agreed that our desire was to be careful with finances and not get into debt, because that's a huge thing and it's so easy that can happen, especially in this country. But so that was something we knew we aligned. Later on, with the same book, Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, I think there's this Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, there's a workbook for women and for men that come along with the main book. And so I think this was exactly the book I opened, and I came to the chapter. We were traveling and I said, oh, let's ask each other questions. And we had talked about so many different topics. So I thought, let's talk about finances. So I went to the section in this book, which I don't know where it is right now, that talked about finances. And I started asking him questions. And so it was very natural that we started talking about it. And you can tell me how it sounded, if it sounded insecure or controlling or how.
I think it was more like something that we wanted to talk and discuss. I didn't realize that you were going to talk about finances specifically, but yeah, it did come up, and I didn't feel like accused or controlling, or what is the other one? Insecure. It was more of a conversation that we needed to have, and it was God led. Yeah.
So I think there's conversations that, I didn't even have any goal. Why would I talk? I just love the topic of finances, money, saving. I just love the topic, period. So I kind of thought like, oh, that's a cool topic. We've already discussed about it. We know where we stand. Let's keep asking each other questions. So it was more like a just natural way. So this book and the questions are amazing conversation starters with no like agenda behind, more than really talking about things that some people don't really talk about many times.
I have a question. Now, if someone wants to talk about finances and the other person is in debt, how would, or what is the best way for the person that is talking about finances should react?
I think if you are in a committed relationship, like we've mentioned other times, you should talk about your past, and debt is something that if you do get married and that has not been solved, will impact both. So it's something that you have to talk about for the sake of the honesty in the relationship and planning
transparency.
together. So I think if you both know this is where we want to go, this is our goal, but this is my circumstance, and I'm right here right now. So if you're the person that has the debt and you share openly like this is, something I'm struggling with, or I got in debt with my education or with whatever it has been, then the other person they can say like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. and I need to process it. So you can ask for time as the other person if you are not in that situation and you're shocked, because sometimes can be huge amounts, other times can be complicated situations. So definitely the other person has the right to say like, whoa, I need time, or I need you to work on that, or what are you going to do about it? So as you share what has been your plan to, reduce that debt, or can you both together come up with a plan? Like, what can we do? What can be done? And are we willing to work as a team in accomplishing that goal? So if there's a huge debt, you open up that, the other person listens and maybe needs time to process, then either they can decide to say, well, that's your responsibility now, take care of it, and then we see how we move forward. Or they can say, hey, I have some ideas, or I have more experience, or I have some techniques, or I know some things that can help, and then you can help each other into that.
Yeah. But what if the person feels like they are being controlled? When this person is saying, I'm willing to help you out, I can teach you certain ways that you don't have to be in debt.
Well, if the person feels controlled and they are not doing anything to come out of it, I guess that's a red flag. Because then if they're doing their part and they know how to manage it, but if they're in debt and they don't want help, that's a red flag, because that means that might continue being a pattern of getting in debt and not wanting help. And so we need to know that marriage is a team. You are basically uniting two lives, two bank accounts, two visions, two future, everything. And so you have to be willing to be vulnerable. But I know of others that they were like, I want to manage my things. I don't want you to get into it even after marriage. And
that's what I was about to
they
say.
really struggle financially. Like, one was better at it, the other one was worse, because they would get in debt quickly and kind of they didn't manage finances well. So there's a lot of marital issues because of it, for sure.
And I think we will have to go it case by case, and we cannot just give one statement that will help everyone, because I also have known a couple where the husband had a huge debt. The wife did not know when they were getting married, and after they got married, she had to pay for the whole thing. And the husband did not, before marriage, did not say a single word that he had huge debt.
Right.
And that was not a nice thing. But then there is also other couples where the husbands have separate bank accounts, the wives have separate bank accounts, and then they do their own lives. And I don't know, that's something that I have not experienced, and of course in our marriage, because how does it even work? Like, what do husbands pay for and what do wives pay for?
And I think there's not a one way to do it. I think as long as there's good communication and they decide jointly what they want to do, it's up to the couple. But and this is something that we've always kind of said, we can have our individuality. Like, if you want to have your account, your side hustle, your savings, like, give each other. And this is actually a recommendation many times given, like, each one should have their pocket money to do with it freely what they sense, and not necessarily every penny be controlled by whoever is the best, financer in the home. So there should be certain flexibility in that regard. At the same time, if there is that individuality, but not individuality that is like, I use my credit card, however, because it's mine, but then I'm bringing debt, and who has to pay? The family somehow has to pay for it. So if I'm doing things that it will impact my partner, then it's an us issue. If what I'm doing is only impacting me and it's not impacting you, and I'm managing it and I'm taking care of it, then some things we can say, this is my thing and I'll take care of it. But
I think that each individual couple can decide on what they are going to do.
Right. But if things are going to impact the relationship as a whole, then it's not your issue. Like, if I had a big debt and I don't want you to help me, but I'm not taking care of it, and we get married, and then there's like, $20,000 debt, now it's not just my issue, it's ours. So I think that's where, it makes a difference.
Yeah. Yes, these conversations, and there are many more conversations that are hard to talk with your partner, to your spouse, and all of that. But you have to pick your battle. Some things you will have to share so that you and your partner can be on the same page. You and your spouse can be on the same page. You can be transparent. You can work things out together. And if you're finding it hard to have a conversation, send us an email and let us know how we can help you. And we are really happy to help you in that aspect as well. And remember, hard conversations are necessary for you to build your relationship with the love of your life. We will see you on another episode on Happily Ever After. This is Martin and Debbie. We are
The Raj family.